Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Stef.
And I'm Elle.
And I'm Heysha.
And I'm so happy. These are my favorite people on the planet, and I love having them both in the same place. Heysha, I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm going to do the thing that I do with everyone when it's their first time here, and I didn't prepare you for. What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, my favorite scary movie?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I hate it when you ask me these questions because you
I
put me on
know.
the spot.
Yes.
I mean, right now, I do love Till Death, because that's sort of what I convinced you to must watch. But I got my sister to watch it today too, by the way.
Unbelievable. It's like a disease.
Sorry, I tend to do that.
Okay, second favorite. That's right.
All right. I love the Conjuring movies, and I love Skeleton Key. I mean, I haven't seen it in ages, but I like movies that literally make me pee my pants.
From being scared or from laughing?
Oh, from being scared. One that I will tell you I don't like is The Hills Have Eyes 2, I think is the one. Not my thing. Won't watch it ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Ever again.
Yeah, that was an L pick. An L pick. That's why we did The Hills Have Eyes.
It was my mother terrified me as a child with those movies.
The second one literally crushed my soul. I was crying from the second the baby got kidnapped until the end of it. And I wasn't even crying because it was a sad movie. I was crying because I was scared for the baby.
Yep.
That's valid.
So,
that's kind of the reason why Elle doesn't like the movie choices that she doesn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the movie that we chose sort of falls in that character or in that category, even though there's no babies or pets involved. It's like the real shit.
I like horror that leans into the fantastical. If this is like within the realm of possibility and humans are just ugly, I'm not as interested. And that's what this really was to me. It's like, oh, schmen suck. Schmen are awful.
Schmen are the worst.
Not schmen.
Definitely schmen. I think it's funny that you mentioned the Conjuring movies because yes, they are very entertaining, but like we literally just got off a month of roasting those movies. Not necessarily for the entertainment value. It was more for the war and bullshit.
Yeah.
And some for the entertainment value. But I can say that the first Conjuring movie still is entertaining as fuck to me. And it does scare me. And it was mostly, I said, because of the way the mom is possessed and like the way that she runs after the kid, her own kid, scared the fuck out of me. It wasn't right.
Also, movies that involve children, like Sinister. Those movies, yes. Also, Strangers 1, I think it was just because I watched it way too young. And that one, like, literally tripped me the fuck out because I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, there is no place is safe. So, yeah. And that's also going back into the realm of realistic.
Yep.
That was the movie that I decided when I watched that movie, I was like, well, there's a whole subgenre of horror that I just do not like. This is not a good time for me.
Yeah, because it's real.
And I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I really enjoy that. That's why like Scream is one of my favorites. But then, I love the twist. It's an illness. But that's why I love Scream so much. Because honestly, it could fucking happen. Like copycat people are out there all the time. All it takes is two fucked up teenagers. Literally, we've seen that all across America to do some damage and to create some real life horror in people's lives. I just hold it in my mind that the shit is fake and I take it to bed with me at night and that's how I sleep. All right. So yeah, this week's movie was Till Death with Megan Fox. And she's still a fox.
She's a smoking babe.
Yeah, we went a little nuts when we watched Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body.
You were the one, right? And she's describing. We're at work, and she's describing this fucking movie to me, and she's like, "Have you ever seen this movie?" And she's describing it, and I looked at her, and I was like, "Are you talking about Jennifer's Body?" She's like, "Yeah, like it's a new fucking movie," and I'm like, "Girl, have you been living under a rock?" But it's okay because Elle hadn't seen it either. But she had heard of it. She had heard of it. So I'm sorry. She gets more points, but I still love you tremendously.
I avoided it for the reasons that Diablo Cody, the writer, had said she didn't like the way it was marketed because it was marketed towards men. It was,
and it's not for them, it's for us.
Not. It really is for us. And like I realized that when I watched it, I was like, damn, I've been missing out all these years. And it brought me back to my, you know, my prime years with all that like early aughts fashion. So
yes. Oh my gosh. That movie is just a national treasure.
It was a really good movie. It really was.
So here she is again. And unfortunately this movie starts chill. This movie starts with an affair ending, which is always kind of yikes for me because don't cheat. Like don't cheat. It's always a bad sign in a movie, especially like this. And as you get to know her actual husband, you realize he's a controlling psycho piece of shit, and so that's extra don't have an affair, sis.
It's like getting witness protection.
I'm just saying, okay. So I really want to unpack this shit because the instant you meet him, he pisses you off because she's smoking in her little lawyer fit. Okay, she's sleek, black is a classic, and he comes in talking about, I thought you were gonna wear the red one. That's what I like, but don't worry, we can go back home so you can change.
You could go fuck yourself, bud. That's what I would say.
That part. And so it unravels and gets all kinds of fucked up here because she has a case file on her desk, and inside it's pictures of her. It's like from her case, and he was the attorney, I guess, on it. Okay, so she's fucked up because this guy attacked her, and he has like zero concern about her well-being. Like she probably has PTSD from that situation, if not necessarily PTSD. Like it's a thing that traumatized her, and he has no concern about it. Like he cares more about money than if she's okay, and I can't wrap my brain around it at all.
Well, I think to be fair, where we're looking in, even though she's like ending the affair, he obviously knew about it because he
of course
pre-planned all this like crazy ass shit he's gonna do. So this is probably the beginning of the psyop we're seeing here, where he is trying to fuck with her to make her break her down.
That's probably true, but he gives me the impression that he's
a piece of shit. Yeah.
like
also he was cheating on her prior to her affair.
Seemed like multiple times.
Yeah, you're condemning her for doing the same thing that you were doing,
just like a fucking man. Just like a fucking I literally can't.
This is some
I literally can't keep it. Yeah, I can't keep it from coming out of my body. Like, and I'm no longer saying like I'm sorry or whatever, because I mean it. I fucking mean it. Like this movie is the clearest example of how fucking delicate men are. Okay, this is why women don't say no in certain situations. Okay, because men are fucking crybabies, and that's that.
Yep.
I'm not sorry. Like he keeps that shit going by like they go to dinner and he orders dessert for her even though she said she didn't want any. He shits on her. Okay, and I noticed this the second time watching it because yes, I watched it twice because I love Heysha. I watched it twice. So the second time around, I realized that she got him a really clever gift, okay? Because he likes sports. Classic, man. He likes sports, so she gets him a ticket for their Steel anniversary, talking about how the Steelers.
Oh.
She's hoping the Steelers go, and he's like, fuck them, they're terrible, and literally gives the tickets away like a piece of shit.
The whole thing drove me bananas because between the level of controlling, the manipulation, the verbal abuse, essentially, like emotional abuse, but also like, I don't know what I'm trying to get at. I'm sorry.
She's vibrating.
I mean, no, I just, coming from a woman's standpoint where you've been through situations like that, it puts it in a way where you're almost looking inward from an outward view of what you went through. And it just puts into perspective like the reality and the drasticness of some situations and how bad it can turn out. Like he literally took every trauma, every PTSD that she's ever encountered and used that against her while putting her in a situation where she was literally trapped.
It's actually tickling my PTSD because I got that from being with a psychopath. And like, thank God he didn't. All I can ever think is thank God he didn't have fucking money. Because imagine how bad he could make my life if he had money. Like this man, literally, and we find out this man's whole existence is crumbling down around him. So he has nothing to lose. And there's nothing scarier than a crazy rich man with nothing
That
left
has
to
nothing
lose.
to lose.
It's the most unbelievable thing. And like, I could literally put myself in her beautiful shoes. Like, the whole time, like the anxiety that
The
built up
beautiful
in
red
this.
bottom. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. But he also like snaps at her. He physically snaps at her like she's a fucking dog, okay? And he gets her a collar, a silver collar that it just, how long he had to be thinking this shit out is what boggles my motherfucking mind, okay? Because he had that gift specially made, okay? All right. So then he blindfolds her and he's like, I have a surprise for you for over an hour. And he's just eating that shit up like, like, I literally have you at my total control and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And he's like getting off on the fact that he's gonna like ruin her and like drag her down with him. But worse, because it would have been kinder to just kill her. I know, it's heavy.
Every part of this.
Literally, though, that's why I enjoyed it so much. Normally, suspense movies don't really end up being suspenseful through the whole thing. And this one, it was the whole time. It just kept you like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? Like, oh
shit.
like, yeah.
And it's gross to me for a lot of reasons, but because he also goes through so much work to make it seem really fucking romantic. Like he gets her to the fucking I almost said the forest house. The lake house. He gets her to the lake house. He makes her stay blindfolded, but he has candles every fucking where, okay? Most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Yes, rose petals. He leaves her a sweet note upstairs or in the because she's a photographer. So in the my English is broken. I keep wanting to say red room, dark room. In the dark room, he has all of these pictures from like their wedding in the original dark room, okay? And has like this play me and it's got a romantic song playing, just buttering her up. And then when she walks into the room, he's holding champagne or whatever and gives her this apology like, I know things have been bad between us, but I'm gonna make it better. And I'm just like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Also, when they're driving out there and he makes the comment of I had the lake house prepared for us. and you don't really understand the extent of I had the house prepared for us until like mid movie, and you realize the length that he went to literally torture her, because that's what he did. He tortured her. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be here, but I know that you're going to suffer.
Yes, I'm just like, what the fuck went on in your crazy pants brain to sit there and think about all of that, which makes me feel certain that he hired someone to help him, someone that he trusted. So there is an accomplice out there.
Remember though, I mean, part of it, yes, but remember, for all of that to fall into place, he was a detective.
Sure.
So like all
but he
of that
hired
stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like even with all the pictures and stuff, I just find it hard to believe, because like I know he's an intelligent man. He wouldn't be where he is without that. He has expendable money, but I find it hard to believe he could do every single thing by himself. All those pictures and all the hours of following them, like he had to hire a private investigator, and he could have hired easily and had them sign an NDA. I don't know why my brain is doing this right now. like going so hard on this man, because I think it's just extra scary to think that he hired someone to do crazy shit for him and just threw enough money at them they wouldn't ask any questions.
Everybody has a price.
God damn, no. like, no.
True enough, though. Fucking capitalism.
I'm telling you. I wouldn't be able to live with myself personally, but
no, because and my brain doesn't rest like that. Like, you ask me to do something fucking weird, I'm gonna be like Zendaya and Spider-Man, and I'm gonna figure it out. So like, you should. I just feel like all the romantic gestures and things were like an extra fucking fuck you, and it makes my stomach hurt. So they anniversary bang or whatever, and she wakes up and it's frigid in the room, and she's in her pajamas, handcuffed to this man. Okay, like they're in Gerald's gang. Oh, and I really like watching that scene the second time, because she wakes up and she's like, what the fuck is this? And then she sits up and she's like, what the fuck is this? And he looks at her and he says some dumb shit like, did you dream beautiful things? It's time to wake up. And then shoots himself in the head.
Literally, just like that though.
Literally. So she's covered in his blood, handcuffed to his dead body, and
her ears are ringing, because that's what happens when somebody blasts a freaking gun less than 2 feet away from your face.
And the movie has just shifted gears, okay, in a crazy pants way. So I can say this: she handled it a hell of a lot better than I would, because I can't tell you how many hours I would just lay there screaming. Like,
I would literally be like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
That, and she just kind of springs into action and she starts doing shit. So like, she's naked, she's dragging him around, rolls his ass down the stairs. She puts his clothes on her body, which is smart. She makes some little emergency shoes, because he takes everything out the fucking house. Okay, every sharp object, everything out the house. Like, he dumps her cell phone in the water. There are just so many little things that he did.
Hold, please.
Okay.
Pause on that. Also, very importante part. Before they rolled down the steps together, she also found her wedding dress that he had meticulously placed in the closet, where there was no other clothes, just her wedding dress, pristinely hanging in front of the safe.
I'm in distress. That's
the point when I texted you, Steph.
Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Just refresh myself on Elle's text message. Yes, I understand.
I thought we were in the middle of some morality story about this is what you get if you cheat on your husband. And I'm like, fuck that guy.
Right.
Literally.
Okay, so all that shit's fucking happening, and I don't remember the exact order of the madness, which is fine. There's a lot of it. Like, she thinks that she wins at one point because she goes through the garbage, and literally all that's in there is like cut up rose petals and car keys. And she's like, yeah. But if there's nothing else, you know it's not gonna be that easy, sis. Like, I'm sorry. So she drags his ass, and it's snowing in the middle of the fucking snow. That's the worst thing I can imagine, because all I could think of was your picture of your snowed in shit, and me thinking about all the winters I spent in Michigan with snow clinging to my fucking clothes, just trying to get home. And that's without me dragging a useless man corpse around and being handcuffed to him.
And barefooted.
Barefooted. I need layers, 3 pairs of socks, a pair of boots, minimum, bitch. No, the snow is a killer. Snow can kill you.
Snow kills.
Snow kills.
You know what I wish she would have done, honestly? She has a dark room, so I'm assuming she has dark room chemicals. A lot of those are corrosive. Burn his fucking arm off. Burn that bitch's arm off.
Fair, because I've seen it happen. Fuck the smell. Okay. And all that reminds me of is, I think it's Seed of Chucky, when they melt that guy's face in the dark room. Anyway.
Oh, we have horror movie precedent then. I was just remembering in high school when I worked in the dark room at school, and I was like, some of those chemicals can fuck you up. So.
Yes. I also worked in the dark room in high school, and I was terrified to develop my own pictures because of that. I was certain I was going to burn my little fingies off.
Oh.
I didn't though. My fingies are fine. Just in case anyone's wondering. All right, so she gets into the car. He siphoned the motherfucking gas out of it like a dickhead. And then he has this CD playing that has a voiceover. And she was so pissed off.
I hated it. Hated it so much. If you're listening to this, I'm pretty impressed you've made it this far. Fuck you.
Condescending asshole, even after death.
Literally, your ghost can suck my dick, bitch. Okay?
I would have punched him in the face.
I would have punched him in the dick. Right in the frozen dick.
See, I was like, once you get that arm off, you just put the hand on the cock, because rigor mortis. And then when they find him, he's got like a melted arm attached to his cock. And what does that look like? No.
And they have to take pictures of that for evidence.
Exactly.
So it's going to be immortalized forever. God damn, you are a genius. Okay.
I know who I'm calling in the future if ever.
I'm saying, literally, I will call her for everything. Okay. All right. So I didn't take any notes about this stuff, but at some point she's in the house and her sorry. Heysha, your face is the biggest right now. Lost it. Her lover comes by, okay, because her husband sent him some messages like, I fucked up and I need your help. And I'm just like, here's the part where, okay, so here's the part that bothered me. I mean, there's more parts that bothered me, but I just felt like she was so nonchalant at that point. Like, she was so nonchalant about it. Well, what's left of him is here. And I'm just like, where is your sense of urgency and panic? After you realize it's him, open the fucking door and then just start like, get me in your car. Let's go. Let's fucking go. We'll drag him. I know.
So with that being said, can we just say how if I would have been in the movie, I would have totally throat punched Tom, which, is the side piece, because ma'am, she's literally sitting there and she's like, call the fucking cops.
Yes.
And he's like, but what do you want to tell them? And she's like,
I don't give a shit. Call the
what do
cops.
you mean? What happened? Call the cops.
Yes.
And I'm
So,
like, why is
yeah.
that a man thing?
Because men! Literally, I'm shrieking at this point, okay? It is not irrational. This is what women deal with on a daily basis. The incompetence and slowness of men and schmen. That was right around the time where her sense of urgency kind of picked back up. She was like, when she told them to like call the police, but it's just too late for all that. They take too long, and the bad guys come. The bad guys get there. So it's two brothers, and one of the brothers is the guy who fucked her up in the first place, who just got released from jail. Her husband hired him.
Which also, let's add real quick, he hates her because when he attacked her the first time, she had her keys clutched between her fists, which, lifesaver, ladies, lifesaver.
Literally,
And yes, and she took his freaking eyeball out, so he already hated her guts because of that.
Oh well, okay. And this is the shit that I'm talking about, okay? Her husband, what did her husband hire specifically to do? To break into the house and steal the diamonds? Is that what he hired her to do? Him?
He hired him. Did he hire him, or did he just tell him basically she's gonna be there? So then, yeah, he hired him to steal the diamonds. So he told him that the only two people that knew the password to the safe was her and him, and he killed himself. So the only other person was her.
Okay, so everybody's a fucking scumbag in this movie. So this guy is a raging crazy pants, just like the husband, because sure, he hates her, he's mad at her for taking his eye. However, maybe if he hadn't attacked her in the first place, she wouldn't have defended herself. So it's the sensitivity of this man to blame all of his problems on the woman that he attacked is beyond me. And then literally brings his brother into it, because his brother is apparently the only one in the family with the brain. And for what? For $200,000 worth of diamonds.
Literally.
$200,000 is not a lot of money, guy. You just got out of prison. Why do you want to go back so bad? Why? It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it just, oh man. It's like the brother, he eventually says, like, we never should have come here. And it's like, no fucking shit, my dude.
Duh. Like, in what universe does this brother who just got out of prison be like, you know what's a good idea? Let's do some more crimes for $200,000. Let's do
From the beginning, though, his brother told him that maybe they shouldn't do that, that they should just dip out. And that was when his brother ended up stabbing the hell out of the side piece.
Poor Tom.
I know. But Tom, come on.
I know.
How are you going to be a detective? And
he's not a very smart detective.
Clearly.
So what happens is Dummy doesn't listen to his brother at all, and he ends up in a scuffle because they find out that the diamonds are not in the safe that they fucking got her to give them the combination for. They're in the stupid collar around her neck. And so it's written on a note on a fucking, what is it, a saw? Engraved in a saw that's where the diamonds are, because he wants him to cut her head off. And brother's like, this is where I draw the motherfucking line. We're not cutting her head off. And brother's like, yeah, we are. And ends up fucking killing him like a lunatic. Like a lunatic. But
to be honest, I was surprised the brother with the other little guy on his shoulder, like the angel and the devil, lasted as long as he did, because I thought the other guy was gonna kill him like way before that.
I just hate that it had to be like that.
One of my favorite scenes from the whole movie, at one point when she's like, running to the back of the house and she hears the smart brother, the one with the brain, open the door, and she literally just threw herself down on the ground in the snow.
Yes.
I thought that was such a beautiful
Yes.
moment in the movie. I was like, oh shit. It was
She's
beautiful.
very
Sorry.
resourceful. I will
Mhm.
give you that. Like she's very quick and smart.
Quick-witted. Mm-hmm.
My favorite scene in the movie is when she goes down into the cellar and he goes after her and she's literally sandwiched in the stairwell between the two brothers and has the car alarm go off.
Yep.
Yeah, I had such anxiety in my spirit watching that.
I was
Only the
sitting on the
second
edge
time.
of my seat
Yeah.
for that whole scene because that was like, oh my god, it's gonna be it. It's gonna be it.
Mm-hmm.
So to make a long story short, she whoops his fucking ass.
She fucking tied a dead body to his ankle and
Mhm.
threw him
Yes.
down a hole in the lake.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about ice fishing, am I right?
And when he tried to pull her along with him, she took the
Oh, she
knife
stabbed
out
him.
of her shoulder.
Got your other
stabbed him in
eye.
the other eye.
Got your other eye, motherfucker. And I'm just glad that she made it back out of the ice, like the queen that she is.
For the first time, this wasn't a plot driven on the protagonist's incompetence. She was incredibly competent. And I would have died 100 times in that
Yes.
situation. And she, somehow makes it to the end.
Which
And
I
makes it
like
look
that for her.
easy.
Ever does she. I do like that. And I can say the first time I watched it, I was not I was not overly impressed. And what I told Heysha was I liked the first half better than the second half. But a second watch through made it better. It just doesn't make me any less angry because of how the men are. And she's really the only woman in this movie, and she really gives us a good name.
I also did enjoy that normally movies give you like way too much of the story, and that statement that you said about how she's the only woman in the movie. I actually genuinely enjoyed the few people involved in the movie because it added more depth to the situation and the scenario that was happening. But thank you so much for having me today, ladies.
Of course, we'll do the skeleton key one time, and I low-key hope you pee your pants when you watch it.
Stuff.
But that was our episode. Loved having Heysha here. Definitely will have Heysha back. So you can follow this podcast on Twitter at GITM Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at WitchXPudding.
You can follow me at Nocturnical.
I'm not on social media too much.
That's totally fine.
Good. Yeah. I wish I wasn't.
But here we are. Okay, bye.